Okay, after receiving a few requests from folks on YouTube wanting to see a little more of my layout instead of the little snapshots that I posted, little videos, I decided to put something together. I got an upgrade on my phone, so it actually might be worth watching. I think I need to delete all my old videos and redo them, something with a little more clarity. But overall, it's a 10 by 16 layout, Fastrack, and I modeled the New York Central and the Pennsylvania. Yeah, not very original, but I got tired of some other road names where I couldn't seem to get enough of maybe locomotives or whatever that I was interested in. So, and growing up in the Chicagoland area, they both of those railroads passed through. So it kind of made sense. Once I finally narrowed it down, I did a lot of trial and error, and this whole layout is basically kind of pieced together as I went. I started off with an 8 by 16, two ovals. It's open in the middle. I kind of regret that now. 15 years later, I have to duck under the layout to get in the middle to run the trains. Another 5 or 10 years, that could be an issue, but hey, maybe I'll be starting a new layout. This is a downtown area I put together. It was originally just a yard place to stock cars because I really hadn't figured out what I was going to do. And I ripped all that out and extended the main lines to the outside of the layout, and then added an icing facility. So now I have some sort of revenue um, for my railroads, to freight to move type of thing. Um, I run legacy control. I tried a few MTH locomotives conventionally by the TPC unit. They run really well, but trying to flip flop and decide which way to go. When I got into this, I was a real big fan of where Lionel's Rail Sounds was at, so it's kind of what I've stayed with. I have some K Line passenger cars, huge fan of those. I acquired a lot of stuff from guys on the OGR forum, and that was a big help. These New York Empire State passenger cars, the 15 inchers, which look much better on my tighter 060 maximum radius on the outside. So stuff like that. I kind of just find my way through. This is just a large engine servicing facility, I'll call it. It's not necessarily obviously there's no roundhouse or anything. I thought this was a neat idea. I put these in the front of the layout here. It's kind of a display for visitors or whatever, and they can kind of get a closer look at the trains without them being farther into the layout. That's kind of the premise. It looks good, breaks things up. This is just a plain old Lionel Station. This past winter, I added some LEDs to it from Evans Designs, and I'm absolutely thrilled with those. And I also added some sound to it. I bought a module that came out of a Lionel boxcar, and I put that inside there with a speaker, and it's on a toggle switch. I'll demonstrate that later. The mountain is was completely constructed by my wife, structurally speaking. It's modeled with some cardboard boxes and the with newspaper, and then the plaster cloth going over it. I did the scenery part of it, but the whole structure itself, except for maybe the portals, I believe I added those in once the main structure was up. Basic, but it achieves the desired effect. Um, she did all the backdrop work. I mean, it's not necessarily realistic per se, but it gives the desired effect, and I was okay with that. It looks like clouds, it looks like scenery. I like the abstract mountains that she did in the back. It works. I added some pine trees in there. It was a nice contribution. On the far side of the layout here, the mountain stops. I think I want to try and get her to extend that in the future. So I'm going to stop this video here, and then I'm going to go inside the layout and discuss more.